pleasure to have Oliver Pilgerstrofer today, CMO at IFS, and he's got some really exciting news to share. The rebranding of IFS and a bunch of other items. Oliver, thank you for joining me. I can't wait to hear all you have to share.
Vinnie, great pleasure to be with you, and thank you for having me on. Hugely exciting day for us today. We've decided to refresh the IFS brand, and we are going to market with a new look IFS, which we're hugely excited about, and has been something that's been in the making for a good few weeks and months. So today is really the pinnacle of us being able to tell the world about how we want to present ourselves and the business that we have become over the past few years, as well as signal our intention for the future, because our growth journey has been absolutely fabulous over the past few years, and we've got big intentions to continue continue on that trajectory. So this turning of a leaf, or a new chapter that starts with our brand identity coming out in a really vibrant set of colours, is a very, very exciting day for us, and it leads us up actually into some very important news that's coming in 3 weeks from now.
Fantastic. Well, I like the vibrant colors. A lot of the industrial software world often doesn't use that enough, so can't wait to see it.
Well, it's funny. So, there are some things that we decided to keep and some things that we decided to change when we went through this exercise. And it was quite a lengthy exercise of, initially quite a lot of scientific thinking, what theory should we take? And then we obviously wanted to spend a lot of time testing and making sure that it would work, yes, with our customers and partners and our own employees, but also, we recognize the company that we want to be and the companies that we want to continue working with, and getting their input in the whole process was hugely important. But what people told us in response to, we've obviously many different levers that we could have moved. Do we change the name of the company? Do we change the colors of the company? Do we, what do we add to the brand look and feel? And consistently we heard back that our brand has got a great reputation in the market to date, and our values as a business are really appreciated. So, the idea of playing around with the name was, shut down very, very quickly. And, we have big amounts of pride in being IFS and the values that brings with it. And equally, my colleagues, like myself, bleed purple. So the idea of moving away from the color purple was something that we didn't want to mess with either. And I think about why. Why is that the case? And I look back at, in fact, I remember one trade show that I went to, and it was at the Oracle Open World. And going into the event there, you have to go down this escalator into the show floor. And I remember that event specifically well in relation to branding, because I just saw this sea of blue and reds from the Adobes and the Red Hats and the Oracles, and then the blues of Dells and Intels and all the other brands. And then really, catching the eye in terms of differentiation was this purple of IFS. And it really stuck out to me. Because I wasn't looking for it, or clearly I was there and interested in IFS, but it wasn't, I wasn't part of the company at that point. But it really stuck out for me, and that stayed with me. It's been a really important thing. But we looked at purple, we looked at our color palette, and the brand color that we had with the purple over the past while has been something that needs a refresh. And I think that being able to demonstrate the vibrance of the new color purple that we've got, and the palette that we put together, I think is really evocative and symbolizing of what we where we sit within the industry, and how we perceive and want to communicate our proposition in that vibrant and interesting and engaging way.
I presume you used a digital agency, or did you do everything?
We've actually got a great in-house team that I lent on a lot for ideas and thinking, which is great when you've got the talent within. Yes, you're right. We absolutely used an agency to help us make sure that we needed to do the validation. And I talked about engaging with customers, partners, prospects, and the like, and our own employees. We did that on a qualitative level, but then also a quantitative level to make sure that we're getting that volume of response, but then also getting the detail that we needed. So we used external support for that. And then for the creative elements, we've got a good team, a close network actually of agency workers that we've worked with to really bring this to life. So conceptual people, there's a brand or a company called Olix who really led this for us. They've been great in helping bring the right people to the table, so that we've got great designers, great graphics people, great people that can work on animation and give us that feel and look that's ever important in this digital world. So a real coming together of some very, very clever and creative minds.
That's great. Now, Oliver, this is a very ambitious global launch. How did you manage to do all that with all the COVID restrictions? That sounds fascinating.
It is fascinating. Well, I guess there are probably some luxuries to doing this type of work when you're in COVID, because the requirements of travel aren't there. So it does mean that you can spend more time, reviewing and working behind a computer, which is helpful for this type of exercise. But yeah, I mean, we're now at a fascinating place where we've got all of our assets ready. We're today announcing the news to the world, which is clearly a big deal for us. I hope it's something that our partners feel very proud of as much as our employees, that our customers connect to. And really, it's a message that we want to send out to the market about where we're going. And in order to do that, there are some very key activations that we're going to be lighting up, Vinnie. So some out of home, some print, because that's actually a very good medium to get into people's homes when they're, if you choose the right mechanics, and then also a lot of digital, which you probably would expect. And I probably need to talk a little bit about why digital, specifically at this moment in time, is a very important thing for us.
Well, you also got the physical side covered, right? You got Times Square and Burj Al Khalifa, and my God, you gotten around.
We put IFS around the world, Vinnie, and the execution in Times Square is just phenomenal. I mean, they call it the Big Kahuna, which I love as a name, but it's the biggest placement that you can have in Times Square, which is absolutely fabulous. In 10 minutes or so from now, the Burj Khalifa is going to go and be fully purpleized with our branding and our key message around moment of service, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. And then we've had Shibuya, which is the main junction in Tokyo, Japan, lighting up. And then next week we'll have Piccadilly Circus. And these are just really iconic places around the world, which is our way of saying and using imagery and the digital components of these activations to demonstrate how we really want to up the ante with our branding and our investment that we're making in making sure people know about IFS and where we're going. And I think that will, yes, clearly be a moment in time, but it will clearly live on for a lot longer through the way that we communicate that. And that's why these activations are so exciting.
Talk about the moment of service.
Yeah, so the moment of service is a really a departure point from a movement that we've seen in our growth. And I think it was the middle of last year that we saw that over half of our revenue now is coming from companies who want to use service as a differentiator. And, some of them might be using our field service management piece to just make sure that they've got the right people in the right place at the right time. But many of the very complex businesses that we work with, the manufacturers, the aerospace and defense organizations, the asset intensive businesses who do amazingly complex things, have all been questioning themselves and trying to evolve their business model to really deliver a complex proposition in a way that really resonates with their customers. And that there are these moments where you either delight or you disappoint your customer. And that might be, take the aerospace and defense industry where the plane lands safely on time and you get off with your bag and you're on your way back into, Manhattan or something. And you just kind of reflect on the brand that you've just flown there with and thought that service was just perfect. It's, it all came together, the whole booking experience, the The service that I got from the aircraft, the fact that we left on time, we arrived on time, and that I've got all my baggage, that it all comes together and it just matters to you as a customer. So, we've seen this movement happen, and it's something that we believe that we've got a compelling reason and ability to help companies deliver on. And that's hugely exciting for them, because, thinking about the complexity and getting it right at those moments in time is the differentiator of getting repeat custom. It's the ability to be able to delight. It's the opportunity to then actually build accretive value for your customers and new business opportunities, because if you're able to get those things right, you can start understanding your customers and their behavior in a lot more detail than you previously have been able to. And that presents a great business opportunity. And so, this idea of moment of service is something that we'll really rally behind from a brand perspective moving forward. And on the 10th of March, we've got a launch event, which is a massive milestone for the company. It's our biggest product launch that we've made to date as a business. And it really is the result of 3 years of blood, sweat and tears of our colleagues who have essentially rewritten all of our products onto one platform, so that this platform can really deliver for our customers in that moment that matters. And we think that the combination of our customer satisfaction and happiness, people like yourselves giving us that credibility from an analyst perspective when you're looking at the different vendors' capabilities. We feel we've got real credibility and leadership in our service proposition, and companies are telling us that they want to put their customers at the center of everything that they can do, and our technology helps a business manage their processes and the experience around that.
Yeah, it was really nice to speak to Darren Roos, your CEO, last summer, and then Mark Brewer did a presentation for me on how field service and asset predictive maintenance and all that is coming together. So it's right. You're right. It's a very exciting time for IFS.
It's interesting because we've seen this topic of servitization really come to the fore, where companies are looking to evolve their business model to be more service related or change their SLAs to be service related, and that all makes a lot of sense. But the drivers are there both from the consumer side, where people have just got higher expectations of service. They are now consuming more service, not just because of the pandemic, but because we're just ordering more stuff to our homes and offices and places where we dwell. But then equally on the other side, you've got businesses who are looking to differentiate on service because products are often commoditized, or they need to find different ways of working, and they can see new ways of creating revenue opportunities. And I think that balance of both consumers wanting more and businesses wanting to differentiate on service means that this is a super hot area.
And one advantage IFS has is you have so many industrial enterprise customers, right? A lot of other CRM vendors can talk to the consumer market, but they don't often understand the whole supply chain. And you guys certainly understand that.
There takes a lot for a company to do what it does, and there are a few companies that have got very simple supply chains. So especially in the complex industries that you recognise, where we've got a lot of credibility, it becomes even more pronounced.
Yeah, Mark was telling me exciting things like outcome-based pricing and so on. So I'm glad you are emphasizing it a lot more.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for us, and it's a differentiating factor. And I think of all of the companies that are trying to do this, whether it's a ServiceNow, for example, where they're looking at trying to get companies and their customer base to operate efficiently. They're looking from the inside out. They're trying to get companies operationally efficient so that they can then go and help their customers. I look at the traditional legacy ERP players, where they've got big problems because of their stack solutions, where they're trying to get the integration of all of these different tool sets to deliver for the customers, and it's just like headache galore. And I think that we're just in a really, really hot position where, we've got this, we're coming from this great place of being able to help our customers service their own customers. And now we're looking at an opportunity where we can also help the efficiency and drive process effectiveness internally from an outside-in perspective. And I think that that's a big differentiator.
Every good business was started with the intention to do something different. But every great business was started with the intention to do something amazing for their customer. It's a small nuance, but one that has a big impact. And whilst there are thousands of things that go into making a business successful, it's the moment of service that matters. It's the moment when all the hard work pays off. It's when you win or lose in the eyes of your customer. Key to success is the way your business engages customers, empowers its people, and leverages its assets. Providing an experience that delights your customers, from the time you motivate a sale to them wanting to buy again. From enabling your staff to be in the right place at the right time to work effectively before and after delivery. From efficiently managing your supply chain and optimizing how you work your assets. This is the DNA of your business. Stitching these elements together creates value and enables you to deliver on your promises. And that applies across all industries, regardless if you're a manufacturer, energy supplier, builder, or aviator. The moment of service matters. Centering your business on the moment of service tells your customers you care. It enables you to differentiate. It enables your business to grow and thrive. What's your moment of service?